On February 1, 1957, the NSU plant in Neckarsulm launched its first working prototype of a new type of engine, a rotary internal combustion engine designed by Felix Wankel. It was a breakthrough, culminating more than 3 decades of theoretical deliberations and experiments conducted since the 1920s. The Wankel engine promised simplified design, fewer moving parts, and exceptionally smooth operation. Instead of a classic reciprocating motion, a rotating rotor was used, performing all 4 strokes of the cycle in a single, continuous rotation. From the engineer's perspective, this seemed like the technology of the future. 6 years later, NSU presented the first production car powered by a rotary engine, the small NSU Wankel Spider. It was equipped with a single-piston, rear-mounted 497cc engine, producing 50 horsepower. Although its specifications weren't impressive, the Spider offered performance comparable to larger piston engines, while being significantly lighter and significantly more refined. The model served as a technological demonstrator, allowing for the collection of operational data and testing of how the new drive system would perform in everyday customer use, not just in laboratory conditions. The true manifestation of NSU's ambitions, however, was the RO80 limousine, unveiled in 1967. This futuristically styled, 4.8-meter-long car featured a 2-piston rotary engine displacing nearly 1 liter and producing over 115 horsepower. Combined with a semi-automatic gearbox, front-wheel drive, and excellent aerodynamics, the RO80 offered performance and comfort ahead of its time. Its innovative design earned the model the European Car of the Year award, but it also revealed problems that quickly began to undermine enthusiasm for rotary technology. The greatest challenge proved to be the durability of the Wankel engines. Wear of the rotor tip seals led to power losses, starting problems, and high oil consumption. NSU had to replace the engines repeatedly under warranty, generating enormous costs and damaging the brand's reputation. Despite subsequent modernizations and gradual improvements in reliability, the financial damage proved irreversible. Production of the RO80 continued until 1977, but in the meantime, NSU was taken over by Volkswagen, which incorporated the company into Auto Union, reviving the Audi brand. However, the rotary engine technology continued to fascinate other manufacturers. Licenses were purchased by Mercedes-Benz, Citroën, and the Japanese company Mazda, which alone managed to bring the rotary engine into long-term series production. Mercedes experimented with powerful C111 prototypes. Citroën tried its hand at the GS Birotor, and Mazda gradually refined the design, building its own identity around it. At the same time, Volkswagen was exploring the possibility of using the rotary engine in higher-end cars, including luxury Audi models. In the second half of the 1970s, rotary engines were incorporated into prototypes of the Audi 100 and the flagship Audi 200. The most advanced design was the Audi 200 KKM, whose name referred to the term Kreiskolben motor. It was a simplified development of the original DKM concept, in which both the piston and its housing rotated. The KKM solution, when used in practice, allowed for conventional engine assembly and interfacing with a conventional drivetrain, making it much more feasible for series production. The Audi 200 KKM prototype featured a 1.5-liter, 2-piston rotary engine with an output of approximately 170 horsepower. This was comparable to the turbocharged 2.1-liter, 5-cylinder gasoline engine offered in the production version of the 200. However, the rotary engine provided a completely different driving experience. Linear acceleration, a lack of vibration, and near-silent operation at high highway speeds. The prototypes were intended to emphasize the sporting potential of the large sedan and offer an alternative to traditional piston engines. A total of approximately 20 Audi 200 KKM units were built, used for road tests and comparative studies. At the same time, however, factors were mounting that worked against the project. The fuel crisis, high gasoline consumption, complex emission standards, and the experience of NSU caused Volkswagen management to become increasingly cautious about the future of the rotary engine. The technology was fascinating, but expensive, risky, and difficult to reconcile with mass production and growing market demands. Ultimately, Volkswagen abandoned the development of rotary engines, focusing instead on more promising solutions from a business perspective: turbocharging, 5-cylinder petrol engines, and quattro all-wheel drive. The Audi 200 KKM thus remained merely an interesting experiment and a symbol of a moment when the future of motoring could have taken a completely different path. Today, these prototypes are rare museum pieces and a reminder of a time when major corporations weren't afraid to invest in bold, yet uncertain, technological visions.